Kia ora, folks. Just Corey here. I thought I'd put up another vid, just a bit of an update on sort of where I'm at the moment. I had the surgery, the gastric sleeve surgery on Tuesday. So just Tuesday gone, the 20th, I went in. And I was in for 2 days, so only 2 days. But yeah, so I just wanted to sort of share, which I have done with a few people already, but just share a few experiences of going through that and how I'm tracking 3 days post-op. So kind of been home for 3 days now. Once I got home and slept in my own bed and just, that was it. It was good. First day out of hospital, I went for a walk. I thought, this is it. I've got to get my mind set now. This is only the first stage of many stages. So I went for a walk, so pumped out about 3.8k, which I haven't done in a while. Normally 2 to 2.5k was the maximum that my body would let me walk before. I was just, my calves and my shins were in absolute pain. So that's what's stopping a good 2 or 3 times as well, you know. So 2 to 2.5k, then straight out of surgery I bumped up 3.8k. And I didn't feel no pain in my knees. One thing, the last 2 years I've had chronic pain in my knees, just the inflammation. I've never gone to get them checked out. I've never had any scans or never had any diagnosis. So I didn't know if it was arthritis. I didn't know if it's just inflammation because of the weight. But literally that first walk, the day out of hospital, I had no pain in my knees. And to me, when you're that immobile and you finally can walk with no pain, and like I've said to a few people that have asked, it's like a 2-year-old, you know, when they first start walking and then all they want to do is walk. All they want to do is just get mobile and you can't tie them down, you know. That was me that day. Like I just did the 3.8k walk and there was nothing. Like I got home and I was like, I could probably smash out another K. You know, that's how my knees were fine, everything was fine, and I was just like, I'm never taking my legs for granted again, that much I know, because when even just walking down the stairs in our complex, you know, we're on the first ground, but there's probably 7 or 8 stairs to our apartment. I'd always used to have the handrails, use the handrails just to balance and pull myself up these stairs. Didn't have to do that at all. So I was excited, like I was amped. That's kind of a positive outcome, or one positive outcome so far that I've had from this procedure. So I thought, all right, let's try it again. So the next day, which was yesterday, on Saturday, I thought, let's do it. Let's see how far we can get. So I went on another walk from home to Runaway Bay, right around, and that ended up being 6.3 or 6.4k, one of them. So it literally almost tripled my normal walking distance in a couple of days. And to me that was great, but that certainly was my limit. Like I had to sit down a couple of times. My calves started spasming, like actual cramping. And not just one, but both calves. So I was about 1 kilometre away from home and every step was cramp, 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 cramp. And not even every few steps, it literally was every single step my calves were like pulsating. So you can imagine walking and you're still a kilometre away from home, you still got to get home. So the last part of it was quite a slow slog, but I did it. But I'm glad I did it because I'm not going to do it again, not now, well not soon, but I had to check how much my body could take. And now I know that 3.8k to 6.2, 6.3, that's kind of my window. So I know what I can easily handle. I know what I can't really do more than. So I'm going to scale it back, you know, and it's all a learning thing for me. You're going to learn this as you go. You're going to I found there's certain things I now can't take without it upsetting my stomach. The smoothies I used to have at the 7-Eleven, the banana smoothie, which I loved, man, I loved. I had one of those on my walk yesterday because I just didn't bring a water bottle or anything. I was thirsty. So it just so happened the 7-Eleven was on my walk route. Stopped in, grabbed one of these smoothies. Worst thing ever. Oh, jeez, my stomach just went to town and absolutely punished me. So I know I can't really have that at this stage. So I'm learning. Went to the sister-in-law's for a barbecue last night. Not for me, obviously, but just to say hello. I wanted to stop in and see everyone because there's a few mutual acquaintances that have been following me on this journey, and I knew they would be there, and it'd just be good to catch up and say hi. So I went along, and that's when it hit me that the smells and the temptations and everything are still very much there. I thought with the surgery, you just wouldn't want to eat or wouldn't want to. No, not at all. I got there and they were having sausages and steak and salads, and barbecue is my thing. Like, that's my jam. I love anything barbecue. Sausages, I love barbecue sausages, just sauce, onion, bread. And it was all there last night, and it was killing me. Like, it really was very, very hard. And I don't know if that's like putting a recovering alcoholic straight into a bar afterwards and thinking they're going to be all right because they recovered. Nah, that's how I thought it was going to be. Not at all. My stomach was rumbling. I wanted to eat. I saw leftovers that people weren't eating. I was like, oh, this is... And so we had to go. Like, I couldn't... And it sounds over dramatic, but it's not. You know, I like those feelings that I had for food, those emotions, those cravings that I have. You know, they were still very much there. You know, it was still very real. Even though I've had the surgery, everything was still the same. So that's something I have to be really aware of, not to sabotage myself and put myself in situations this early on, in environments that are, you know, possibly going to make me fail. So that's another big learning curve for me. I've never had to be mindful about my food. It's just, if it's there, I'll eat it. So what? You know, that's just how it is, and that's probably half the reason I got into the state I am now, or was then. So I was kind of proud of myself that I didn't, and I know if I did cheat, I'd be in a whole world of pain. So, and I'm kind of enjoying at the moment not having really any pain. All my dressings have fallen off, my stitches are out, so everything's kind of still a slight uncomfort. But one thing I have noticed is when I'm hungry, my stomach actually starts to hurt. Like, it actually pains me if I'm not eating regularly enough. So it's like I've got a built-in alarm clock of when I'm meant to eat. So what I'm doing is I'm just I've got this is a book that I bought probably about a year ago. Well, it's probably back to front, but it's called Weight Loss Surgery. So it's basically the Bible for anyone that's had bariatric surgery of any sort. It goes through all the phases and everything like that, like the first 2 weeks after surgery, like your fluid diets, then your mushy diets, which are in sort of the 2 to 4 week, and then your soft solids from the 4 to 6 week mark. So it gives you sort of recipes and ideas and what to expect. So I've been following it pretty well. So there's a whole string of like cool smoothie recipes and stuff here. So I bought some ingredients, and this is what I've been doing. So my favourite so far is the banana cinnamon smoothie. So that's kind of my breakfast. But I'll always have my multivitamin tablet with it. So I've got to get into the habit of doing my multivitamin as well, because I need to make sure, and which is what I've been told, that the body is going to be nutrient deficient because of the limit of food or types of food that I can eat while I'm recovering. So I bought a bucket of whey protein. So I'm putting as much protein as I can into my drinks. I bought soups. They're just like the Heinz soups, but I blend them up so I can't have anything chunky. So they're nice, you know, they're alright. It's not certainly no barbecue meal, but it satisfies me, which is what I want to do. I want meals to satisfy me. I also bought some miso soup just to sort of snack on. And I've got this aloe vera water that my mother-in-law bought me, which is unreal. Like, it's because real water is quite hard to stomach. Like, it actually hurts my stomach just to drink normal water. So they usually say get like sugar-free cordials that mix with your water, or something like protein water. So she bought me this aloe vera water, which is sugar-free, fat-free. It's got vitamin C in it, and I put it into and it's quite not syrupy, but it's got that syrupy texture. It's amazing. It's so good, and I'll just put it in my 1 litre water bottle, and I'll just sip on it, and that's really good. Like, it actually satisfies me. So she bought me some some jellies as well. So when I go on to my mushy stage, I'll be allowed to eat jellies. So yeah, they've been awesome. They came around the day after I got out, and yeah, they just turned up with a whole lot of stuff for me, and so it's awesome to have that kind of support from that side of the family. So yeah, and here we are, Sunday, 3 days out of hospital. I'm probably going to have a rest from walking today because my calves are still a bit tight from yesterday's walk. Idiot. So I don't want to damage myself or, potentially cause anything to hinder my progress. Because I've got 2 weeks off work, or 2 more weeks off work. So I want to make sure, while I don't have a routine or a timetable to adhere to as far as work schedules, I make the most of recovering and setting in new habits, setting in new things to my head. I'm itching to get back to the gym, like really itching, like I really just want to, but I've got to be patient. I've got to heal. I've got to make sure I'm 100%, because I don't want to go back into hospital again. Like, I was joking to Ursh, I said, mate, if this fails and I get fat again, that's it. I'm fat. I'm staying fat. I'm not going through all this again, which is the very motivating reason why I'm not going to go back to this state again. Just because people do say this is the easy option. Not at all. There's nothing easy about this at all. Because, like I said, my temptations, my wants for food, the smells, everything is nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is now I've got a stomach like this, and I can really damage myself if I sort of overload and go gung ho like I'm used to doing. I have to literally relearn how to eat, which sounds bizarre, but it does. I have to. Everything has to be scheduled. I have to make sure that, because the size of my body, I have to make sure it's getting the right, while it's losing weight, getting the right nutrients, getting the right everything that it needs for it to be a success. I've got to set myself up to be successful in this, or there's no point in doing it. Yeah, so that's it. So that's my update. I'm actually going to put a bit of a blog up as well, so I'm going to write down some things and I'm going to post it up. One thing I've also promised myself is I'm not going to live by the scales. I'm going to set up specific times, whether it's once a week, once a fortnight, just to weigh myself. Because I'd rather see blocks of weight come off rather than little increments, because if you have one day where you've only lost half a kilo when you've been used to losing 2 kilo, 3 kilo, 1.5, it can be quite disheartening. And I know, because the whole weight loss game is a mental game as well as physical, I don't need that mind fuck. Sorry for my French. So at least if I'm doing it over a week, if one of my days is a half a kilo day, I'm not going to know about it, So I'd rather do it that way and not live my life by the scales. Like, I want to live my life how I'm feeling. If me walking up and down stairs doesn't pain me anymore, well, that's a success for me. Me walking reasonably long distances without pain, that's a success to me. That means my body is healing, my body is doing what it needs to do to get down to a healthy weight. But at the end of the day, you still want to gauge where you're going, because I started this journey at 209 kilos, which is a ridiculous amount of weight. And with my blood tests and everything that I've had, I've never had diabetes. I've never had my cholesterol was a 4, I think 4.1, which is around decent. Like 6 is high, what they class as high. 2 is kind of the real safe level. So I'm kind of right in the middle for cholesterol. Blood pressure has been fine. I've went and had an ECG, so my heart rate, my resting heart rate was 82 BPMs, I think, 81, 82. A little bit higher than what your normal average Joe is, but hey, I'm 209 kilos, so for someone that size, there were no alarm bells, which a lot of people just can't figure out why. I guess my only problem was I've just been food. Food has been my biggest downfall. I like to work out. I've always loved working out. I've never been scared to go to the gym or doing workouts, and I've kind of consistently, whether it's not been regular or not, but consistently tried to keep moving. And I think that's kind of helped alleviate a lot of these problems, because if I was just stagnant and just a couch potato and did absolutely nothing, and I do a little bit of walking from and to work as well, just with the public transport, I think that's all kind of helped keep me on the safer side of those weight related diseases. So yeah, so I'm feeling good, I'm feeling okay. I'm excited about what this year is going to bring. I've got goals, I've got plans, and I see this as an opportunity that I don't want to fuck up on, so I've even, which is strange for me, which is always what I wanted to do, but I've put my name down for the Gold Coast Marathon Walk through WLSA, so that's the company I went through for the weight loss surgery. It's only a 5.7 kilometre walk, but it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a part of the Gold Coast Marathon, whether it's walking, jogging or running. I've just, for some reason, for years, I've always wanted to be a part of this, which is in June the 1st, I believe. So when the opportunity came where they were looking for names and they're sponsoring us, so we don't have to pay any fees or anything like that, I just instantly I went into fat mode and thought, I should be good by next year. Yeah, next year I'll definitely give it a crack. And I thought, well, hang on, it's March now, it's in June, it's 3 months, and it's only a 5.7 kilometre walk, and yesterday I pumped out a 6.3. I mean, that was the extreme for me, but it gives me 3 months time to build up to that, so yeah, stop being a dick, just say yes, put your name down. And so I did, so I've registered. So this is bizarre for me, I don't know how quite I'm going to go with it, but I'm sick of being afraid of what my body can't do. I've got to switch it. I've got to make that turn. I've got to start jumping into things. I've told my daughter, you wait till I can fit in a bloody roller coaster. We're hitting those theme parks like a madman, and she hates roller coasters. So this is ultimately not going to benefit her any. But for me, I've never liked being a spectator at the theme parks. Never. Like, it's just like, fuck, man, I want to go on that. I do. And the one humiliating moment that sat in my head is when we went to Movie World one day and we went on the log ride and they couldn't get the bar over me. And I was at the front carriage as well. I was right at the front. And they just said, sorry, sir, we can't. And so I had to get up, walk back past everyone. And that to me was probably the most humiliating I've felt for myself. This is like 3 or 4 years ago, so that's back then. So that's played on my head, and like I've just recalled it like it happened yesterday. These things you remember, and I just want to erase. I want to get there. I want to get rid of the old shitty memories and replace them with some cool new ones. So theme parks, it's just the goal. It's a simple thing, that a lot of normal sized people take for granted, that they can just sit in a roller coaster and do these rides. I've never been able to, so that's something that's exciting for me. So yeah, just doing the walk and fitting in a roller coaster. If I can do that in my lifetime, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. But thanks everyone. This is a bit of a long rant. I'm surprised the old iPad stood up for it. So now I've got to edit the bloody thing and probably shave about half an hour off it. But yeah, so I'll keep you all posted as I'm going along my phases. Hopefully every 2 or 3 weeks I'll try and keep everyone updated. Yeah, so like I said, I started my pre-op around the 209 mark, 209 kilos. I weighed myself this morning just because I wanted to get an idea of where I'm sitting, because my first week out of hospital will be from Tuesday, so I'll do a weigh-in. I'm sitting at 195 now, and I haven't been under 200 in a long time. So 195 from 209, that's 14 kilos in 3.5 weeks. So I know it's working. I've just got to do my part and make sure it continues to work, because people have failed this. I don't know how. You'd really have to want to sabotage yourself for this type of thing to fail you. But once your mind is right, man, fuck, excited, real excited. So thanks everyone. Much love to you all, and I will talk to you soon.